Well, greetings. I'm Pastor Milton Reed, Jr., Senior Pastor of Kingdom Builders right here in Birmingham, Alabama. And our young people are preparing to go back to school. And we just want to give a nugget for those that are preparing to go back to school. I thought a bit about this when looking at the Gospel of Matthew chapter 14. There's a very familiar story where Peter sees Jesus and the disciples. They see Jesus walking on water. And I thought about this because, and I want to share it with you, for more than 30 years, think about this. There was a Harvard professor by the name of Robert Rosenthal that conducted an experience on personal expectation. Listen at this. He conducted an experience for 30 years on personal expectation, academic expectation, and then intellectual expectation. Rosenthal says, as he investigated the impact of personal expectation as it relates to students and teachers working together to achieve a high level of expectation. Look at what he says. Students were tested. 18 teachers were told that they could predict intellectual learning. 18 teachers. So here's what happened. 18 teachers were told this, and they were told that they could predict IQ booming within the first 3 to 6 weeks of the testing. Here is what the test result did. Based on test scores, 18 teachers were giving students and told that these students were in the 20 percentile of those that could achieve and do anything. 18 teachers were told 20% of the students and were given to them. They were given to them and told them these are the ones that's going to excel and have a high IQ. Well, the 47% were told that these were students that would not make it. They drop out before they graduate. They flunk out. They would not be able to learn on the level that they were on. And they were given to teachers that had achieved high level of success, gained many and multiple certificates of completion. They were told by the teachers that these were the ones that would not make it. They would not succeed. And did you not know when the investigation and when it was concluded, the experiment, only 19% had gained an above average IQ, while the remaining percent were low in self-esteem. They did not receive high scores. At the end of it, Rosenthal concluded and said, our expectations have a certain level and power of influence over the learning. Here is the catch. The teachers that were told they had the high educated, the high intelligent students, what they really didn't know was they really received the students that were voted most likely to drop out. They received the students that had been troubled students. They received the students that were told they would not make it. They received the students that came from broken families. But the reason those students achieved and they far excelled all expectation was because the teachers thought that they had the cream of the crop. And as a result of that, they taught them on a higher level. Well, those students that had been doing well, excelling all of their lives through grammar school, through middle school, they were told to the teachers that you have the ones that are voted most likely not to succeed. They'll drop out. And as a result of getting students that were well educated, they came from wealthy homes, parents spent money on investing in their education, getting them tutors. They were excelling in elementary school and in middle school. But as a result of those teachers thinking they've got the lowest of the lows, those students begin to fail in their IQ decline. Here is what Rosenthal wanted us to know. And that was when you give people expectations, they usually try to exceed them, especially if you think that they can do it. I want to say this to us, especially to our young people as we're preparing to go back to school, whether virtually, whether remote, or whether in the classroom. Make sure you're doing your very best. When you look at this particular story, Peter understands Jesus gives him a request, but Peter has a different level of expectation than the other disciples. Here is what Jesus looks at them when walking on the water. Peter says, Jesus, if that's you, bid me to come out there. The other disciples were saying, I want to stay right here on the boat. But Peter had a different level of expectation. And here is the nugget I want to leave with you today, and that is this. All that's been offered to you is not all that's available for you. Don't accept what has been offered to you when there's more that you may not be aware of. When you've got a different level of expectation than your friends, when you have a different level of expectation than your loved ones, than your classmates, always retrieve or achieve, try to reach for the stars. Here is why. Because as you're reaching up, Christ says, I want to make sure that you hit every goal and target that's in your mind. Raise your level of expectation. And if you do that, you'll see what eyes have not seen, what ears have not heard, and neither has it entered into the hearts of man. There are some good things that God has in store for you. I love you. I'm praying for you. But my word for you today is raise your level of expectation. I expect great. Be blessed.